Vader 650 here with Crazy Cat Airsoft, and today I'm going to show you how to make some tactical style ear protection. What I got here is kind of those replica hearing active noise canceling hearing protection headphones, comm sets that you can get at most Airsoft Realtor. The thing is, what I found out about these is that they're not that great, especially when I got a more real steel hearing protection here. So the first thing I notice is with these, yes, they do amplify the noise, but their range is a bit off. Specifically, it cuts to the problem where they actually start cutting out some of the noise at the normal talking level. So basically I can't hear people talk with these, but I can still hear them talk with these. So this tends to cut out the so-called dangerous noise way too early. So it amplifies things, but at the really low level you can actually hear the rubber gripping on the floor. But the problem is that when someone's trying to talk to me, I can't hear them, and then on top of that, when I ask them to speak up more, it just cancels their voice out more. Additionally, headphones like these, they're not very comfortable and they get pretty hot on a hot summer day. Additionally, they have no real guarantee of any hearing protection. So if you're at an event where you actually need hearing protection due to blank firing devices, get yourself some real steel hearing protection with the active noise canceling. Downside, there's no comm unit with that. So you actually need real hearing protection. Get real ones. Don't cheap out with these Chinese knockoffs, which eventually they'll just fall apart. But what I'm going to teach you how to make today is how to take these standard actual Peltor ear muffs and change them into a more comfortable protection that you can wear on the field, which will give you the look of this, but we're going to take away the kind of the hearing protection of it and just kind of make it some nice ear for impact protection, but it won't give you any hearing protection. So if you need them, get this. If you don't need them, I suggest you do what I'm going to be doing here and making these a more suitable for on the playing field, where you get the look, but you also are going to be a lot more comfortable, and your hearing is going to be much better compared to wearing one of these, because you do lose a little bit of your ability to hear. So let's go over to the workbench and we'll start modifying this. Alright, let's get working on this unit. Mind the mess, this time I have lots of little letters from our rocket launcher project, which there will be sadly no video on that, but you can find most videos on how to do it. So first thing you want to do is you want to take your headset here apart, and I'm going to include the link in the description below on where you can buy these. They're really cheap. They're about anywhere, you probably get them from $10 to $15. We'll also do a little bit of a repair job here. This is actually not the original headset or headband. This is actually the cheap Chinese knockoff, which I'm going to repair this. Alright, so got that detached. We're not done yet. Take your hand here and these just pop right off. Remove the foam. We don't want this actually for hearing protection, so we're going to take this foam and we're going to throw it away. Keep these you're still going to be using these. Set them off in the side with your headband. And what you have left here is 2 plastic shells. And what we're going to do, we're going to increase the ventilation here. Alright, now I grabbed my drill. I have a 732 inch bit here, which I did a little test here on a piece of PVC pipe there. I drilled the hole. A BB just kind of fits in there, so a BB won't penetrate it. It actually goes about only 1/4 of the way in, so therefore it's probably not going to sneak its way by. So what I want to do is with this, I want to first drill out some holes here. So when I drill these holes, I want to make sure I don't get too close to the edge, because for one, it might ruin this little thing, that little ledge here that this will clip into, and additionally if I get it close to the edge, I can also risk damaging it. So I'm going to drill a little hole Start off kind of slowly. All right. All right, makes a little bit of a mess there. Then I'm going to take my standard BB. Yep, verified. It's not gonna go in there. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go around the edges here, and I'm just gonna put a bunch of air holes in here that will let forward noise in and out. So be back here in a bit once I get that done. All right, so you can see I've done a few holes all around each side. There's a little bit of burrs there. We'll go through that. We'll go over that with a file there just to clean them out. Now, here's where it's going to be. You're going to have two options. One, you can continue to drill holes all along this line, this surface here. Second is maybe to take some mesh material and we'll cut out an area here, and then we will glue and maybe even screw in some mesh here to increase maximum hearing and ventilation. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to first take one, and then I want to create a template here. So grab my knife here. I'm just going to make a rough template here. Just get a rough idea. All right. Now you don't want to make this too big, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of the strength of the material here. So I'm going to draw this out. All right, do that on both sides. All right, there we go. So we have a rough template area. Now the next part, we're going to still take our drill and we're going to drill out the corners. That way when I take my rotary tool, it will give me closer to 90-degree edges. All right, not perfect job, but next part we'll get out make sure you're wearing IFO definitely for this part, and then we'll get out our rotary disc with the plastic head on there. Want to make sure that you keep the speed relatively low. Try it 3. The reason being is if you get too fast, all right, it'll start to melt it. All right. See, this plastic's pretty thick. All right, and this is one of the reasons, one of the problems that occurred with me. Just went a little too fast, but I needed the power. It melts a little bit of the plastic. And just peel it off, throw it away later. All right. A little flaw here. Not too bad though. All right, and I'll do the other side. All right, so now I brought over some steel mesh, kind of just cannibalize this off of a mesh mask. I really suggest making this much larger than your hole here, and here's the reason being. In order to secure this, I use a little machine screw in there. I just drilled a hole there and I screwed it in, put the bolt on there, and basically because I cut this too short, what happened here is that I only had enough room to put one on here. So just one right now. We're going to additionally have another method of securing it. So how to fit this this mesh in here, you want to put it in here, and you kind of want to press into it to get it to form the shape a little bit. And then once you find where, actually, I'm going to trim this corner here. That fit in there a little better. Once you get it fit in there, you'll notice I already pre-drilled the holes in here. You'll notice it will line up with a certain one. I'm going to just take a file here. I'm not using this to file, but just more to mark. And I'm going to move this file around here like this. All I'm doing is enlarging the hole so that it is long. You'll be able to at least kind of have this screw in here. All right, got one marked there. Put this right back in here. Find the second area. Right, and it goes right there. So I do the same thing. Enlarging the hole. Make sure that can kind of thread in there. All right, put that in there. What I notice, I drilled the hole a little small on here, so I have to actually use my drill with a screwdriver bit to get it drilled in here, and it actually kind of cuts its own threads. Do this very slowly so not to damage the plastic. Alright, then we'll fit this through here. A little resistance is a good thing. There you can see I have a little bit of this sticking out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip off that corner. Don't worry about sharp edges or not. We're going to use a glue gun later to go over here, and that will give it its final seal and attachment, and will take away any of the dangerous edges, hopefully. There's not too many. If you have any bad ones, go over it with a file or a grinding disc. Alright, and we're just going to screw these on. Additionally, you don't have to worry about any thread tight or Loctite or thread sealant on here, because the hot glue gun is going to act as our to prevent these bolts from working their way out. So I'm going to put this on here, grab the multi-tool, grab onto here, and then use just give it a bit of extra tension. I want to be very careful not to over tighten these, because it will crack this. Just want to get it on there to get it nice and secure. You can see I'm just using my finger like this. Oops. There it was at its limit. You want to make sure that you're using no more than a finger of resistance here. You don't want to get it too tight on. Alright. This up. And then again, I'm going to push this around here. Make sure that fills in any of the gaps. So next part here, we'll get out the glue gun. Alright, good thing. Alright, while I was letting the hot glue gun warm up, I was able to find a secondary point to go on here. I want to have about 2 points of contact for this, just so I can have a good seal. So what we're going to do here, glue gun is all heated up. We're just going to go around the perimeter to finally seal it off. And what this is doing, one, it's holding it to the mesh of the ear muff in addition to the bolts, but additionally It's also creating almost like a safety edge. Now, when you put these back on, they're going to kind of help give you, definitely keep your ears away from all this, but I would be quite liberal with the use of this. Alright, this is on the inside, so people really aren't going to see much inside of here, so you can afford to make this a little messy, or it's better to have excess on here. You don't want to clog your holes that you just drilled, but you don't want to also risk. And then I'll put a little bit on the bolts here. Prevent them from working out. Alright, we'll do this side. Additionally, if you have any gaps between the mesh and the ear muff, the super glue will, or the hot glue will kind of help bridge that gap. The better you did at meshing this to your, you see like my edge is a little raised there, the better you are at meshing this to the original shape, the less you'll feel like you'll really need to add too much. And I'm just going to put a little bit in each corner. So I'll just go ahead and put a very light bead across here. You can afford to be a little messy because later on we're going to end up painting this. I found hot glue because of its kind of rubbery nature. It tends to be a really good at bouncing off the BBs. So it tends to be a great stuff for airsoft gear, especially the do-it-yourself stuff. Alright, got that complete. So next step, I'm going to take some 400 grit sandpaper. I'm going to just rough this up, and I'm going to give this a coat of OD paint in order to make it look a lot more tactical. Alright, as you can see, it's been all painted. I also gave it a clear coat. I did let the clear coat fully cure for about 2 days. It usually takes about a week for a cure coat to get a nice good hardening on it. So my suggestion is try to do this mod the week before you start to play, or use some sort of alternate ear protection while you wait for it to dry. Otherwise it'll probably start damaging the color on it, and this way it'll last a good long time. So now that we have this all painted, all modded up, all you're going to do, put these back on. And they'll be a little tighter because there's an extra layer of material with the paint and the clear coat on here. That's good, so it stays on. There we go. Take the headband. The way these work, you insert them from the top here like this, because if you look, it's an oval shape, so it'll slide into here easily. Twist it around here, and then when you twist it, it locks it in. Of course, did a little repair on the headband. Wasn't the original one, so alright, there you go. So you got the nice kind of ear protection here. Doesn't give you any audio protection, but it will protect your ears, prevent any BBs from going in there, and it'll be a lot cooler, and you'll hear better through here, and then also here. That little area there where the rivet was for the original band, I checked it, a BB won't go in there, so you can actually get these a little bigger. You can still even see it's smaller than these holes. The mesh is just tighter weaved. So there you go. There's an alternate to the type of hearing protection, or ear protection, not hearing protection. Homemade, do-it-yourself, gives you that tactical look while still keeping you cool and comfort. So this is Bacon Air 650 with Crazy Cat Airsoft. Have a good day.